Hi Gemini, welcome to your May 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. My name is Charlotte from Astrological, and today I'll be reading with the Deborah Blake Everyday Witch Tarot, illustrated by Elizabeth Alba. And as a clarifier, I'll be using the Mystical Wisdom card deck written by Gay Guthrie, illustrated by Josephine Wall. And as a love perspective clarifier, I'm going to use the the Whispers of Love Oracle cards by Angela Hartfield, also illustrated by Josephine Wall. Okay, Gemini, let's get started. Now, this front row here, I'm going to lay out for the opening energies of May. And we had a new moon that took place in Taurus, April the 26th. And this really opened up a window in regard to your health needs, to any mental illness secrets you may have had. And this really is a very mixed up new moon because it really opened up a lot of that Mercury retrograde energy. Mercury has been retrograde in Taurus. It will go direct on the 3rd. And Mercury is your ruling planet. So every time that Mercury goes retrograde, which is several times a year, it really has an effect on Gemini and Virgo because you two are Mercury ruled. Now the second line that I have here is going to depict the full moon in Scorpio, which is going to take place May 10th or 11th, depending on your time zone. And this full moon is going to bring closure related to a health matter, a work matter, or a matter related to your pet. This could be you exercising for your health, you looking for work in between this first part of the month and the second part of the month, or taking care of health needs or lingering illnesses maybe that you've put off for some time. You may actually get news around that May the 3rd that you do have an illness that you need to take care of once Mercury goes direct. Now this last row here is going to depict a new moon in your sign. So what we see here in the beginning of the month is what everyone really feels before their birthday. It's about, we're overcoming obstacles that maybe we have laid out for ourselves pertaining to secrets, grief, things that we've held on to from the past that we now begin mulling over in our mind. And it kind of leads us down into a dark tunnel, so to speak. But the 12th house is a beautiful place because actually we are pulling away from society in some way, and we are communing with our own spirit at that time, and we are discerning various situations that we have taken into account that have led to subconscious blockages in our life. So if you've experienced past traumatic events, these events will be brought up now before your birthday within your mind, and they'll be brought up maybe even in conversation with other people. Those are the types of things that you really need to keep your eye on during that time, and you need to work through so that by the time you get this new moon in your sign in Gemini, which is going to take place May the 25th, you're going to feel like a brand new person in some way. You're going to feel like you're ready to finally get started here in trying to put your best foot forward, to leave old things behind, to be a better person. We always strive for that, don't we? In our birthday, we're like, this year we're going to do this. This is going to be the year of, fill in the blank. And so many of you have been striving in your career field. I don't know if you've read my horoscopes, but those eclipses that took place in February really sort of shone a bad light on you, where people weren't, able to see you clearly with that Pisces eclipse there. And so that overshadowed the next 6 months. So it's almost like from February forward, you're really trying to overcome preconceived notions about yourself, or you're really trying to discern what actions or what role you have in certain situations with other people and within your career that are causing this sort of skewed view of yourself. Now I'm going to go over the cards now, and we'll see what messages Spirit has for us here. So for many of you, what I see first is this energy that is really spreading out from this 10 of Swords here. And for some of you, this could definitely be an illness as you come into early May. This may be stemming from late February, where you're feeling very defeated in some way. You're feeling like, maybe all of the anxiety of certain situations has gotten to you, and you can't reach out to this other person. Now, this other person may be an older female figure, She could have Capricorn in her chart. She could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And there's a celebration here that's taking place, maybe within a family, but it's almost like you are not able to be there, or you're not feeling well enough to be there, and you're feeling like you have been maybe personally attacked by this older female, or you're just feeling like you can't quite reach this person because there are so many lingering obstacles that have built up, like I said, within your subconscious over a certain amount of time. Now, for some of you, there is a new career opportunity here, and it's like you have the tools to make things work. For some of you, you've been spending way too much time at home. Now, the Four of Swords upright is really about needing to take a break and rest at home, or maybe about an illness, or really needing to take a break from family. With the Ace of Wands underneath it, this could be an opportunity, a career opportunity coming up that really brings forward your hopes, goals, and dreams. And you would need to, pull yourself out of that state, which is really going to take up your time until the 10th or 11th of May, when you have that full moon in your 6th house of work. So as you go into May, really try to think about pulling yourself out of this sort of funk that you have going on here, where it's family induced, whether it's health induced in some way, and allow yourself to meet these obstacles that you have on a path to a new opportunity for your career, because you have the tools available here. And this reading is saying that whatever your perceived emotions, your perceived emotions or conceptions that you have about people within your family unit, they are supporting you in some way. They're supporting you in more ways than you realize. Now we have the card of Aquarius down here, which is the Star card, which is also about hopes and dreams. It is a card that blends beautifully with your sign, and this is about reaching out to people who can offer you knowledge and enlightenment, and saying, what are the stars maybe for my career, and letting them help you to come towards a certain stance or certain opportunity that allows you to collectively build upon what you have already gained thus far. I do see you, reaching out. You're continually reaching out. You're reaching out here to this older female, even though you're feeling attacked in some way. But you've decided to maybe bring a peace offering, or you've decided to maybe pay out money towards this person, or towards your hopes and dreams, rather, in building this new foundation that can really, help build your own family foundation. It's definitely going to leave you with the tools. I think there's a lot of communication that needs to take place. So maybe after May the 3rd, when Mercury goes direct, you're able to finally come forward with kind of like your side of the story. Now, sometimes this card of the Four of Wands can represent a wedding celebration. So maybe some of you are getting married and this is your new opportunity. But it seems like there's a lot of communication, which there always is, right? And planning a wedding and planning a celebration. And it feels like there are some obstacles related to home and family, where some people just aren't willing to see this as an opportunity. And this person could definitely be an Aquarius female, but this person is very enlightened and they're full of compassion. They have a lot of knowledge about spirit. And so I see some of you rushing towards this person, who could be a friend or family member, maybe for advice about new opportunities and how to solve family issues. It may be that you have been in an argument with this person before. It may be that your hopes and dreams cannot be realized just yet, because there's a certain amount of impetuous behavior here, of immaturity, of rushing towards matters with a sharp tongue in some way. We have the Knight of Swords here, and backed up against the Seven of Wands. I feel like you're feeling very trapped in, and you're saying, it's almost like you're not willing to reason. And Gemini, sometimes you do get like that. It's like you don't even care what the facts are. You just want to argue your way through something. If somebody says red, you say blue, just because you can. And just because maybe there's an inherent personality characteristic that you don't really like from that person, so you just forget the facts because you want to be right. And I see this all the time with Geminis around me, and I'm like, wait, you don't even have any logic to back that up. But what they're trying to get, their point is that they're trying to get across is basically, I don't like you, so I just want to argue anyway. Or I don't like people telling me what to do, so I'm just going to argue about it. And Geminis, that's a big step that you guys in your sign have to make in overcoming certain blockages that are preventing you from really connecting with people. And in this reading too, I still see a need to, now if you have water in your chart, maybe that sort of combats a lot of that energy. But here we have this Fool's rushing in, smarting off, like smarty pants person who thinks that they're like the savior and they know it all, but they're speaking, out the side of their head or something. They just aren't getting their point across, especially to this Aquarius person. And there's definitely heartbreak here, and this does fall at the end of the month along that new moon in Gemini. So I feel like everything that you've worked for to at this point has a sort of symbol of you using tools to get your point across, and it's falling short on maybe the ears of family members or certain family members. Let's see who this Queen of Pentacles might be. This is someone who's very spiritually guided, who speaks with spirit, or they are withdrawn into themselves. And we have the King of Swords on top, which could be an Aquarius male. This could be grandparents also here. Someone who's not feeling well, who is withdrawn from society, and they may be ill as the month begins. But this heartbreak is definitely associated in you wanting to be part of this traditional family unit. And because you keep using this combative energy in some way, for some of you, Gemini, that situation continues to take place where it's just fraught with miscommunication. So you definitely want to try to prevent that in some area. And this communication may have to do with a father figure, a grandfather. This is about someone who is continually mincing their words to create a pathway for you that they want. It's almost like a very manipulative energy, but it's very airy. So it's almost like it's spoken in innocence, but it has like a double meaning to guide you towards something. And this would be a male figure in your life who may try to persuade you or persuade the direction of your family in some way. This could be an Aquarius male. And so it's almost like little subtle hints that are dropped out here and there have really promoted the way that you have begun to think about your future and in your ideal of family life. Definitely the Tower is associated here with this person. The Tower is associated here with this person. So this is definitely a shakeup maybe in what has been told, what has not been told. And here you are trying to bring forward your truth, but there's just a lack of communication here. This may be in reference to a child or childlike behavior, maybe an offer of love, maybe a pregnancy that has been on the way. And it just seems like there's a lot of people, a lot of tongues wagging, a lot of people putting their 2 cents in on the situation. For some of you, I think this is an imbalance related to marriage. We have the card of the Hierophant here, and this is the 9 of Pentacles. Sort of being very secure or using a marriage for security, and it's become imbalanced. And that new opportunity may have to do with that situation, but it seems like a lot of people are talking about it, or you're feeling very personally attacked about it. For some of you, this is something very simple, such as a wedding or a birthday celebration that's taking place towards the beginning of the month, and there's just a lot of conflict going on at this party, and you're trying to offer something, but it's very, you're doing it very quickly, and it's kind of off balance, and it's kind of like weird in some way. And I feel like that it's not well received in some direction. Some of you are constantly trying to build up your security, and you're trying to really get a grasp of how you see family and what light you see family in and what you want your family picture to look in, right? Definitely, some of you could be pregnant. We have the Emperor now with the Empress. And so the Emperor is the one over here starting a lot of miscommunication and stuff. This is a mother figure, and she, if this is your mother, she may feel defeated in some way. She may feel sick. For some of you, this could be an issue involved with a pregnancy. I don't want to scare you here in that direction, but the Empress with the Ten of Swords definitely could be a situation. And it does look like the truth is coming forward. The Ace of Swords is here. This is victory related to this arguments, maybe between an Aquarius gentleman, an Aquarius female, an Aquarius younger male, or an earth sign female, someone who is very sort of upright and traditional and believes that family is first and family is everything. That card could be associated with the Empress too. So this could be the female matriarch of the family, and she is looking for the truth in some way. Or it may be that you feel like this person has gotten lost in all of this other mixed up, convoluted energy. I've been using the word convoluted a lot in these readings because that is exactly what is going on in the month of May. It's like all these things that have been started up by the Mercury and Venus retrograde are finally coming forward to be straightened out, and everybody wants to talk at one time. So the best advice that I have here to give you, Gemini, is try to work through your problems. I do think that it's always family first, and if you have a misunderstanding with family members, try to work it out. Try not to rush in this situation. That is really going to lead nowhere. Don't rush in trying to just be the person who knows it all and tells the truth, because without a view of compassion and generosity, this is not going to work out. So if your family's not important to you, then by all means, rush in. But if they are, don't do it, because it's just going to cause more issues. And you definitely want to define your boundaries with people. But if you have wronged people, then ask for forgiveness. If they've wronged you, let them know. Ask them to apologize, or see if they're willing to apologize. It's a lot of conflicts though in the family unit here. Virgo got the same thing, and since both of you guys are Mercury ruled, I think that it has something to do with it. Now I'm going to pull your clarifying cards now. And this first, I'm pulling for the relationship. I really don't see a lot of relationship stuff here for you. It seems to be more of a traditional setting, and I know some of you Geminis are not cool with traditional settings. You want to be out on your own. You want to go here, there, and everywhere, kind of flit around like a butterfly. But what is happening here is that something has become unstable. It's almost like you've broken away too much, and you have to come back to the fold, and you have to figure out certain things. Watch out for manipulative male energies and people who are dropping hints here and there, trying to lead you astray in some way. And I'll just lay this card out, action speed loudly, on top of this Emperor person. If there's a patriarchal family member who is continually causing conflict, or maybe plant seeds in your head that, you can do this or you can do that, and you don't need to communicate with certain other family members. If you're caught up between two parents who are divorced, this could definitely be the father figure who is manipulating a certain situation and making light of maybe the matriarchal figures. Actions and needs. So this says actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions, not just your words, Gemini. Are you letting people know that you love? Are you letting this female figure, know that you love them through your actions? Or are you just telling them every once in a while? And I feel like these actions are really around this male father figure here. And of course, this is not going to be all Geminis, but if you're here today, this is probably why. And it says, choose love. You always have a choice of what to do. And that just resounds what the Magician card says. That kind of just gave me chills, because these cards basically have the same meaning. You're not bound to one direction in life. There's always a chance to turn things around most of the time. So this is saying, choose love. Use your actions to show people that you love. That's what can resolve this family situation, this foundation. that you have going on here. It says physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So if you're rushing in to offer something and you're wanting to use your mean words to get your point across, this is saying, just stop and look at your actions. And if you are feeling very disconnected from someone who you are in love with, who you've sent a message of love to, this is about reconnecting with that person and not letting the distance separate you in some way. It says you are stronger than you realize. You can confront certain issues that are related to your own security. And you can also be vulnerable and let people know, hey, I'm doing certain things for a sense of security, or I need a sense of security in this family relationship dynamic because I feel like my heart has been broken in some way. So I think you are going to be able to resolve this conflict. This is the miracle and blessings card. And I'm going to use this other clarifier about a vacation. Maybe you're going to take a family vacation, or you're going to go and see family. You're looking for ways to make money for your family unit. You're still looking for security. And I think you will be able to come and, find those resources that you need to reconnect with someone that you truly love, someone who could be separated at a distance, maybe someone who is even related to a pregnancy. This could be you visiting home and family, visiting the matriarchal side of your family. And for some of you, not just in this reading, but in other readings, I have felt that Geminis have been sexually blocked in certain areas. And it's Pluto right now is in your 8th house. And the 8th house is about sexuality, intimacy, sharing in a relationship with someone. And it seems like a lot of you have been very one-sided. It's also about finances and security. So it seems like a lot of you have picked up on the finances and security and have been very kind of obsessed in those areas. But the imbalance has made a block maybe in your sexual life, or some of you have been involved with sexual dysfunctions. Certainly you want to really take time to assess your 2nd and 8th house, and that means your debt-income ratio, but it also is the ratio of your self-esteem versus what you need for security, or what you're looking for security-wise in relationships. What are you contributing to a relationship? What excites you in life? Are you in a relationship just for security? All of those questions come about. What are your sexual preferences? Are there sexual taboos that you're hung up on? And it's almost like you can't even, have a healthy sexual relationship because you're too busy, watching porn, doing other things that are taking you away from this relationship. Because I see a lot of family conflict about this relationship. So I'm wondering, why so much family conflict about one particular relationship if this is you, or if this is you trying to overcome family obstacles and trying to solidify certain agreements for the security of your home. How is your relationship to your partner as well as your parents? Those things have to be balanced. But the thing that worries me here is when the 4th house, there's 12 houses in astrology. Most of you that are watching this already know that. But if the 4th house becomes unbalanced or imbalanced, nothing else can work properly. So if you have conflicts going on with family members and you've still built up these psychological profiles for family members along that new moon in Taurus and that full moon in Scorpio between April the 26th and May the 10th and 11th, you're really going to start reviewing all this stuff. So you need to find out where those boundaries broke, where those connections drifted apart with certain family members. And you need to go back and redefine how you began to subconsciously collect the junk in your trunk, so to speak, all of these swords that you're carrying around with you in your mind in relation to matriarchal figures, patriarchal figures, sexuality, how you see your own sexual preferences. All of those things are here in this reading. And it's showing that you are very unbalanced. and there's a lack of communication. There's a lack of you on your part of using your actions to show people that you love them. And I feel like all of this is sort of collected to bring you into a depressive state maybe, or to bring illness to your body in the first couple of weeks in May. So before that new moon in Gemini, you need to really think about all these things and think about how you're going to make changes in the future, because once that new moon in Gemini comes around again, May the 25th, this is a brand new opportunity for you to really start to implement some of those changes into your life and to step out on better footing for your new birthday year. This new year, every time the sun comes back around to our chart, it sets us up on a whole new path. And you don't want to go down the same old path, and you want to bring some people around you to support you in your life, people that truly love you and have always been there for you. So I wish you the best in May, Gemini. Please check out my website, chastrology.com. I'll link it below. And I do offer astrological readings on there, as well as astro tarot readings. So you may be interested in some of those. I can look up to several years in advance to really let you know maybe how your career prospects are going to go, how the energies are going to flow, what subjects you're going to be dealing with, and what obstacles and blessings you have coming for the future. So take a look at that, and I wish you the best in May, Gemini. Take care.